Hello and welcome aboard Whale Pod. Today we have another Genshin Impact video where we will be going through the Lost Riches event. We have already talked to Olman in the last video I did on Genshin Impact and already received our treasure-seeking seelie. Now let's take it out into the wild and see what it can find. We now have, this is Wednesday, September 7th at the time I am recording this. By the time you're seeing it, it will likely be Thursday, September 8th, so we should have all 6 treasure hunting locations available to us right here from the get-go. Quiet, Yelan, you're perfect, but you talk a little too much when I'm trying to do my intros. But with that, see you, Olman. We will get back to you when we have cleared all 6 areas. But first, Kapalhara fruit. This is still, well, this is in the start of Sumeru's 3rd week. So Hara fruit are still very much in demand. I have been doing some exploring off camera, but I'll talk about that in a later video. For now, let's just head to the site of the first treasure hunting area, Chaktrakum Cave. I have also decided which of these, well, 4 seelies I'm going for. I got the purple seelie last time in Inazuma, and I wasn't playing during the version that gave us the first Lost Riches event. So, with the purple seelie off the board, I had already eliminated blue and pink. It is now left between gold and green, and all will be revealed in the end. But for now, Chaktrakum Cave, or Chaktrakum Cave. There's no 2 Ks in there. Let's bring out the seelie. The seelie will get brighter as we approach something it can use. Do we gotta climb this tree or what? Oh, we gotta use the mushroom. Good thing we brought Electro with us. Maybe we didn't need the Electro with us. There is our first of 3 seelie energy. Second of 3 seelie energy. The third of 3 is over this way. We gotta hook our way to it. Treasure-seeking seelie seems to have located a treasure area. Start challenge.
Right here, right now. Emerge. Gotcha.
Seelie vitality still charging up here a little bit.
Right here.
There's our seelie. Vitalized.
Well, what do we have here?
Ancient iron coin. Treasure obtained 1 of 3. The hunt continues. I sincerely hope all these locations, unless specifically stated as below ground, are above ground, because there's a whole cave network underneath our feet here. There's a Dendro slime. Those guys have gotten a lot less annoying since the introduction of the other Dendro reactions. I believe there is something in the patch notes about them having behavioral changes. So far, I like the changes. Extra seelie energy. Sweet flower. I'm not going to go out of my way to collect them, but I'll never turn down one lying around. Those guys picked a fight with me. That guy's also going to pick a fight with me. He's going to be more troublesome than some fungi. some peaches.
Take it easy.
Seelie's found itself a dig site. Out by more Hara fruit to boot.
Right now.
Help the seelie absorb energy. Ah, it's one of these. Ah. I jumped too far there. More seelie food. I was expecting another combat trial.
Take it easy.
That's how we were supposed to go, I believe.
Easy money.
Treasure obtained. The hunt continues. There's energy number 1. If we can get it. Energy number 2 is over this way. I was wondering what that wind barrier was for. Oh, and you may be wondering what that portal is. Play the Aranyaka quest chain. You'll learn about it there. You may particularly be wondering about it because a seelie does go inside that one there specifically, and you may be wondering how you're able to follow it. Alright. I'm not sure which direction this last one is going to be off in. Well, then it can't hurt to help check up by Anakin Skywalker's house up here. Yes, they referenced that through a Aranara. Once again, play Aranyaka. It is a great quest chain, but a little long and a lot of narration because none of it is voiced. Yes, this little tree stump here is the home of our favorite Aranara who hates sand. Also, for any viewer who has played Aranyaka, please particularly played it as Ether, since I chose Lumine.
Quietly now.
Tell me, down in the comments section, do the Aranara refer to Nara Varuna as a female or male? Because I'm playing as Lumine, and they always refer to Nara Varuna as male. So I'm wondering if an Ether player has a female Nara Varuna, because I'm suspecting Nara Varuna, as the game leads you to suspect, is the Abyss Twin.
Treasure. One way to draw your target out of.
So if you know whether or not the Abyss Twin, well, not whether or not the Abyss Twin is Nara Varuna, but if Nara Varuna is referred to as female when you're playing as Ether, do let me know. Okay, a Visuda Field. Jumping all the way to the other side of Sumeru here for this next one. This is not within the treasure area. Let's see if that's underground. Let's see if anywhere further north is in it. No. Event details. It is far away from any of the above ground waypoints. That's minus points in my book, Hoyoverse. I gotta be able to record this thing concisely and quickly. How am I gonna do that if I gotta fly into the treasure zone? Not gonna use that hook. It's literally right above a invisible mirror maiden that spawns when you get close enough. We are in the treasure area. Let's bring out our treasure-seeking friend here. And find him some food to eat. This is different from the last one where the Seelie didn't need energy, which is a little strange considering Inazuma is the land of energy as Electro is the element of energy. Yes. We have to electrolyze this mushroom. Or maybe not, but it's still fun to get the height we need. Yes, I see where you're pointing to, Seelie.
Take it easy.
And it's going out of the way even just a little bit for crystal flies that allows me to have nearly 1,400 crystal cores.
Right now, right here.
Throw down turrets.
Quietly now.
Scatter!
Enemies that are affected by Electro. Well, not affected by Electro or immune to it.
Gotcha.
These fungi are so nice in that regard where they're not immune to their own respective element.
Follow me. Right now, emerge. Right now.
The specters are the most annoying
Show me what's inside.
out of the three fungi, slimes, or specters, because not only are they immune to their own element, they're not infused with their own element like slimes are, so you can't use their natural elemental application to react with it. Like you can with, say, applying Electro to a
Emerge.
cryo slime to superconduct. Even if the damage is immune, the defense shred is, well, the physical resistance shred is not. And there's also the whole applying pyro to explode a bunch of electro slimes, or applying cryo to superconduct a bunch of electro slimes. Man, Electro really gets the short end of the stick even if it's slimes. Well, Electro was getting the short end of the stick. Electro is actually really good now that Dendro's out. Yaimiko got super buffed by the existence of the Dendro reactions and their heavy reliance on elemental mastery. I always enjoyed Yaimiko before, but now that she's even better, it's even more reason to pull for her. I have been an early adopter of Yaimiko, been using her sensor introduction in 2.5. 2.5's Spiral Abyss had the Golden Wolf Lord in it. Its first appearance in a Abyss cycle, even though it had been in the game since version 2.3. And that one, which was a pain in the butt for most people, was a whole heck of a lot easier for me because Yaimiko's turrets can actively track it and hit it while it is flying around in the air doing whatever Golden Wolf Lords do, which is apparently annoy whales who are also meta slaves. Which, if you're whaling, why be a meta slave? Because you don't need to abide by the meta. Because you can just random BS go your way through the toughest content in the game.
Well, what do we have here?
Okay, there is energy around here somewhere. Hi, energy. There is more. But yeah, I was an early adopter of Yaimiko. Yaimiko got me my first ever 36 star in Abyss during version 2.5. Even with it being the Golden Wolf Lord Abyss, the Wolf Lord was no match for C6 or 5 Yaimiko. And even while it was flying around doing nothing, I was able to hit it reliably for big damage. firmly cementing Miko as one of my favorite characters to play, even if not one of my favorite characters from a design or lore standpoint. Personally, the biggest turnoff for me in Yae Miko's design is the fact that she is just a kitsune disguised as a human. Alright, everyone here takes hydro damage,
Hold the line.
and everyone here takes dendro damage.
Right now, right here.
And everyone here wants to be hit with electro.
Emerge. Go on. Open it up.
Second treasure area down. The third one is in the Ardavi Valley. There is a teleport waypoint right up at the top of that mountain. All treasures in the area have been recovered indeed. Yes, is this mountain we're looking for. Boom, right in the middle of this treasure-seeking area. See, you're redeeming yourself a little bit here, Hoyoverse. Keep up the good work, and, don't make my Seelie and I look for food elsewhere ever again.
Right now.
Okay, if you guys are asking for it. Well, he was asking for it. Alright, Yelan. Here we go. Seems to have located a treasure area. I appreciate the difference in event gameplay from the previous one,
Busted.
but at the same time I know there are probably going to be some people who don't appreciate having to put batteries in their Seelie every time they want to find more treasure. And there are also probably some people who didn't necessarily appreciate having to go to like 16 different locations within an area
Right here.
to find the treasure either. I personally liked both versions of the event I've seen so far. I can only speak to the experiences I've watched of others playing through the first event, namely Murder of Birds, because I don't think too many other content creators covered such a quote-quote mundane event so early into Genshin Impact's lifespan. And here's treasure area number 1 here.
Rest, breathe, ha! Spring forth!
Or throw down the electro. Challenge complete.
Go.
Stupid electro slimes.
Quietly now.
Hey, they were asking for it. I'm not a bully, they're just stupid. Another test subject gives me Vietnam flashbacks, so we're gonna kill these guys for it.
Gotcha.
Comes the hunting.
Take it easy.
You guys are asking for it too. We will, we'll let those guys take care of you while we're taking care of this. We are getting plenty of these fungal nuclei drops. I already have more than I'll probably ever need. Oh, where's another energy particle for this Seelie boy to feed upon? There it is.
Take it easy.
We were able to skirt those eremites. All right. That's where the particles continue. Or particle continues.
Treasure. One way to draw your target out of hiding.
First bit of the final round of energy completed. Alright, not showing up on the map immediately again. There it is! Fortunately, Yelan does let us cover a lot of ground very quickly. That is actually part of the reason why I went for more than just C0 like I normally do with these new characters on their first banner. The other reason why is because, well, would you not treat Best Girl right if you had the opportunity to go for more on Best Girl? So I went for more. Got that double sprint. And got that ridiculous Constellation 6 that turns her next 5 normal attacks into souped up breakthrough barbs. And yes, they are souped up. They're stronger than normal by 156%. That makes her ultimate hit like an absolute truck.
Scatter! Hold the line!
Gotcha.
That is this area complete. I have also started using a new friendship farm team for just getting more characters to friendship level 10. That currently consists right now of when I'm playing on my own, I'm using Kaching, Tignari, he's finally been leveled up, Heizo, and Shinobu. There's a... Well, Kaching is already Friendship 10. She was a Serenity Pot long hauler. No, wrong location. A little bit north of here is where it's going to start. Yep, barely north of here. Kaching was Friendship 7 from early game playing with her in my party. And once she started getting outclassed by other units I was pulling for on later banners, I replaced her, well, with Raiden Shogun. That was the first real good Electro unit I had. But there's a story behind Kaching, and I got her, well, mainly that I got her super early. In fact, I got Kaching on my 3rd ever 10 pull. I had done my 2 from the beginner's wish. Got my guaranteed Noel, which was Copium. And my 2nd beginner's wish pull contained only a Bennett, which at the time I did not appreciate, but now recognize him as the true Pyro Archon he is. Where's this guy floating? Ah, right there. But on my third 10 pull, my first from the standard banner, I pulled a Ningguang for my 4-star, and Kaching as a 5-star, with literally less than 10 pity built up. Kaching was also one of the characters that drew me to Genshin Impact just because I thought she had a good design, seeing her art all over the place. Her and Jean were the two that really got me researching, okay, where are these good-looking anime girls coming from? Saw that it was a game called Genshin Impact, free to play. That's a good hook to bring me in. And, well, I was hooked. I also was really stoked to get one of the characters that drew me to the game in my first ever 10 pull in said game. Before I even really understood what the gacha system was, I didn't even realize I'd gotten a 5-star, because I'd only ever seen the purple twice on the beginner's wish and didn't realize that gold meant something different. This was back in version 1.6, so by then getting a Ningguang wasn't as hype as it would have been had I started playing in version 1.0.
Right now.
As in 1.0, Ningguang was one of the best 4-star DPSs in the game, and was probably one of like 4 main DPS options available from the base roster, alongside Razor, Kaching, and Diluc. So Ningguang and Razor were kind of seen as the real DPS characters, because unlike Kaching and Diluc, who were 5-stars, they were readily available 4-stars. Oh yeah, if you're still wondering where some of the random Aranara roving around the world are, some of them you gotta use these lenses, hit them with Electro, and then you'll be able to find hidden Aranara. We'll talk about that more in a little bit later video. Just thought I'd share a little bit of Aranara knowledge while we were here. The next one has to be on the other side of the river, right? We can't just load all the treasure right by the statue of the 7. Yeah, so far I'm liking how Kaching is playing in the aggravate setup I have going on my friendship farm team, with the friendship 1 Tignari and the friendship 5 and 5 Heizo and Shinobu.
Right here. Emerge. Right here.
It is definitely living up to the hype of making Kaching a very reliable character, as Aggravate relies a lot on multiple instances of damage, which is different from how previous elemental reactions have worked, relying on singular big hits for stuff like Vaporize, getting the biggest damage per screenshot you can.
A chest full of valuables.
Yes, that's right. DPS
Potential clues.
in Genshin Impact has a different meaning than DPS can in other games, meaning more of damage per screenshot than damage per second, as the biggest clout in Genshin Impact for like speed running and all that, going for the style points, is since there's no content that really takes more than a few seconds for the best teams in the game to easily trounce through, is to see how ridiculously large you can get a single hit. And that record, I believe, is still held by Physical Eula in the... I want to say it's at least over 1 million, very well into the 7 figures damage numbers-wise, if not 8 figures, low 8 figures. Aha, this last one is taking us across the waterway. I'll land on the mushroom. Just barely on this side of things. Alright. 2 of these in this location. I really hate these stupid wind currents. They're not helpful. You're not helpful. Just go away. Okay, this one might be helpful. We're just gonna... Come on! These wind currents are the most unintuitive things on the planet. This event gets a star rating knockdown from me for that. Probably gets one from having that second location be way outside teleport range. And it gets another star rating down from this one, this one and the last one having annoying wind currents.
What do we have here?
It already gets a 5 out of 5 stars for the rewards in this event from me because of the getting a seelie. But when it comes to ease of navigating these treasure areas and navigating to these treasure areas, it gets 2 dings from me. Gameplay 3 out of 5 stars so far. Rewards 5 out of 5 because it does give us a new seelie pet. Speaking of which, let's bring the not pet seelie out before we start dipping down into the forest below. Oh, you can take fall damage when bouncing on these mushrooms, which is very counterintuitive in my mind. I think they'd be a soft enough surface to negate fall damage, but apparently not. No hooks to grapple to, or 4-leaf sigils as they're technically called. I need to go around and take some of those omni-ubiquity nets and see if I can't capture some of those froggers. This appears to be the one we are looking for. First treasure location located. It appears to be up.
Emerge. Right here. Emerge.
Alright, set this off.
Let's move out.
Alright, 1 of 3 done here. Heroes wit.
Open it up. Show me what's inside.
Good, we're getting a little more heroes wit than would at first be thought from the event shop alone. I need a lot of heroes wit right now. I have 6 characters that I've ascended to 80 of 90 that I would like to try and over time when I don't have other characters I want to work on building. Get all the way leveled to 90 of 90. Those being Mona, Hu Tao, Ningguang, Goro, Yunjin, and Beidou. Goro's kind of useless to level up all that way, but I still find it a little fun. I mean, not many people probably take the time to get a 90 of 90 Goro, so let's get a 90 of 90 Goro and has something that's a little bit rarer.
Right now. Busted.
The most annoying sub-variety of the fungus is definitely the whirling. That's the cryo and electro. Those two are whirling fungi.
Emerge.
And hey look, cryo and electro, whirling fungus. Second area complete.
Go on. Open it up. Show
We're
me.
gonna need pyro to get to that first one. Let's, Yoimiya, your services are requested. Yeah, that's a good burn. Yoimiya, your services are no longer required. What are we trying to get ourselves, Yelan? You didn't get to finish there. If you want answers or something, there's an easier way than going and getting them. It's called Google.com or Bing if you're weird. All right. Now we just gotta run around, waiting for something else to blip up on the map. There it is. See, we'd find it eventually. It's not called having a plan, it's called having luck, which is better than having a plan. Oh yeah, while we're here, I do also have an alternate theory about what character reruns could be coming in version 3.1. I have not been looking at leaks, but just based on my intuition, well, I'm still going to stick with my predictions being Hu Tao and Yaimiko, but alternatively, we could get some Mondstadt characters because the last time we had any sort of festival in Mondstadt was version 1.4. We have had 3 events focused around Mondstadt characters since then, but I don't consider them Mondstadt festivals, because 1.6's Golden Apple Archipelago was a Klee event. Shadows Emit Snowstorms in version 2.3 was a Albedo event, and while it did feature the Mondstadt branch of the Adventurers Guild, that's not really a full Mondstadt festival, but more an Adventurers Guild fun party time. And of course, the main event story was more specifically focused around Albedo and Durin.
Go on, open it up. Show me what's inside.
That's the next treasure area in here. Oh, and then version 2.8 did give us the return of the Golden Apple Archipelago with Summertime Odyssey, Apam Woods time. It is in this corner of the Apam Woods. But once again, I don't really consider Summertime Odyssey a Mondstadt festival, particularly since it wasn't even entirely Mondstadt characters in the archipelago this time. It was Fischl and Mona from Mondstadt, joined by Xinyan from Liyue and Kazuha from Inazuma. So with that, and with Kale having dropped hints of wanting to go to Ludi Harpastum in Mondstadt when she was trying to throw the father-son Aranara duo off her trail in the Graven Innocence story, I have a feeling the main version event in version 3.1 might be Ludi Harpastum finally. We have never experienced Ludi Harpastum in game. A lot of people thought prior to 1.4's Windbloom Festival that Windbloom was going to be Ludi Harpastum, but it was not. It could be possible that Ludi Harpastum is a fall festival, hence why we will be getting it in 3.1. But with Kale being added to the game and not just a manga exclusive character anymore, it's seeming more and more likely. So an alternate bit of Mondstadt character love is if it is Ludi Harpastum, the reruns could be Mondstadt characters. I'm still anticipating 2 reruns because if they are going to keep up with the current rate of character releases, they are going to need to, in order to facilitate characters getting reruns in a timely manner, have 4 banners in most patches going forward. So with that, I do not think if it is Ludi Harpastum we will get Albedo again, as Albedo is highly tied to the lore of Dragonspine. However, I do think Venti and or Eula could be on the table for reruns next patch. I could also, while I also don't see them giving us a free Amber ever, it could be possible to see us to get back-to-back free Kales. And get another free Kale from her trip to Ludi Harpastum. Alright. We're getting nowhere on this Electro Boy with Yaimiko.
So this is the thrill of adventure.
So there's an alternate story. We could potentially get Hu Tao and Yaimiko, as I predicted. We could get one of either Hu Tao or Yaimiko, probably Hu Tao, because she's had she's tied with Child, aka Tartaglia, aka Child, for the most number of patches currently since their last rerun. And in addition to that, we could, instead of seeing Yaimiko again quite so soon, hold up a little bit more anticipation for her next rerun by putting it even further still from where we are currently. But they could add in someone like Venti or Eula. Eula would make sense if they're only doing one, or maybe not, because Eula is a bit of a loner, might not want to come into the city for a festival. I wouldn't necessarily say she's a loner, it's just everyone hates her family's guts, and because of that she doesn't like being around Mondstadters. Much better vantage point to get to this treasure area from. So we could have Hu Tao and Venti, even though it's been shorter since Venti's last rerun than it has been for someone like Eula. But I'm feeling another likely scenario, aside from the combination of either Yai Venti, Yai Eula, Hu Tao, Eula, Hu Tao, Venti, is possibly just getting Eula and Venti as the reruns alongside Sumeru. Sort of makes a little bit of sense, considering our first main version event since the release of Inazuma was back in Liyue with Moonchase. We hadn't been doing any double banners at the time yet, so there were no connected character reruns. But I could see them doing something with the 3.1 banners tying into the event, since they have double banners to still allow the 2 new 5-stars. Sino is no doubt going to be a 5-star.
A chest full of valuables.
And
Potential cruise.
Nilou, with her prominence both in the pre-version 3.0 live stream promotional videos and the seeming importance of her in the Archon quest, does hint at her being a 5-star rather than a 4-star. So with them being new banners, once again, I'm not looking at leaks, so I do not know for sure. I also don't even really look at any official information that Hoyoverse puts out, aside from the initial drip marketing photos of each new character. The drip marketing key art. So, if I'm wrong with my Hu Tao Yaimiko guess, because it is Venti and Eula, I will still be as equally happy with these reruns as I would be with Hu Tao or Yaimiko, as Hu Tao and Yaimiko are 2 reruns that I do not care about. Hu Tao for the reason being, I do not enjoy Hu Tao one bit. She's too powerful. She should not have been released as is. She should have been given she should have been less overstated. She's too powerful, too much of a power creep character. So, I have Constellation 1, which is the big one of free charge attacks during her infused state. And will not be wishing for more Hu Tao. In fact, Venti and Eula would actually be better reruns for my wallet, because I don't even really need to... Actually, no. I'd still probably go for at least one more Song of Broken Pines. Just like I'd go for one more Staff of Homa, but Eula is a character I have C6 already, just like Yaimiko, so there's no need for me to go for either of those character banners. And who knows, I imagine they're only going to do one new character at a time, so we might see something like Sino and Eula paired up. And I'm going to be going on the weapon banner for Sino's weapon anyway.
Right here.
And we might also see then a Venti and Nilou pair up. And I might get an elegy for the end, because that thing seems to love me when going for Nilou's weapon. Because once again, if Nilou is a 5-star, which she likely is, Then she will have a signature weapon to go along with it.
Gotcha. Treasure.
And now my ramble about predicting the banners for 3.1 out of the way. We have completed the last treasure area, so let's report back into Ulman. I don't know if we need to officially report back into Ulman. There's no quest saying we do. But I'm going to report back into Ulman because I believe we can exchange our coins directly with him here, as opposed to the very impersonal method of using the event page. About treasure seeking. So have you found any ancient iron coins? Of course we have, buddy. Of course, the most important thing to choose is your seelie. So, without further ado, these two are right out. Between Kursuma and Moss, I have chosen to go with Moss. We have mini seelie Moss now. We cannot choose any of the others, as you are only able to get one seelie per event. Next important thing after the seelie is, of course, the Primo Gems. 240 of those. A little bit lower than your average event shop, but after the large, about 1,000 Primo Gem event we had from Graven Innocence, it makes sense. 10 Heroes Wit. 20 Mystic Enhancement Ore. Don't really need the 20 all that much, as I have almost 1,700 stored up. I know that's nothing compared to some free-to-plays who rarely raise weapons, as they have less need for raising new weapons and building new characters, as they get less characters than someone like me, a whale who target hunts every character in the game. And 100,000 Mora. The main allure of the rewards is the seelie, of course, but this is nice as well. We also got a little bit, including some weapon ascension materials, as we were going around doing all that. So I will show off the seelie. We're going to switch from our pet, the purple seelie. That will automatically de-equip the treasure-seeking seelie. You cannot have a pet and the treasure-seeking seelie at the same time. So we'll throw the vintage lyre back on. It's pretty useful here in Sumeru, as it's used for all the puzzles that require you to play Aranara songs. And I guess I'll also show... Yeah, I've got 63 of these books. I need more of those, if you can believe it. I'm working up... Well, it's 171 plus a couple of the 2-star ones per 80 to 90, so I need a lot to get those last 6 to 90 of 90. Plus the ones I'll need for raising Candace, Sino, and Nilu next patch. I believe we got 4 of each of these 3 stars. These Olden Days of, or these Scorching Might ones, the Echo, Remnant Glow, Dream, and Olden Days of Scorching Might, are lower than the rest of them because they are needed for the 2 Sumeru weapons I've been sort of, well, leveling up and sort of leveling up. Tignari's signature weapon, Hunter's Path, does use the Scorching Might level up materials. They are a Wednesday-Saturday drop, and the end of the line also uses them. Once again, Wednesday-Saturday for both Tignari's bow and the new fishing bow. I have gotten it to Refinement 5. Took me a grand total of 3 run-throughs of all the 7 Sumeru fishing spots to get the requisite numbers of anglers and marlins needed to exchange for this bow and its 4 refinement items. This is a lot faster than you could expect to get a Refinement 5 catch, because the catch wants the rare fish and the rare fish only, whereas you're still going to be catching crap like the regional Medaka, the regional butterfly fish, and the regional sticklebacks. And those do gum up a lot of your fish for progress towards the catch. Whereas here in Sumeru, the Medaka is a exception, not the rule, when fishing at fishing spots, making it easier to get the required fish. But with that, that has been the Lost Riches event. I have been your Captain Whale. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All 3 of those help out the channel, and none of them cost you anything more than a few moments of your time. I hope you all are having fantastic days, WhalePod. But until next time, this is goodbye.